Frankenstein Takes the Cake, which is full of funny stuff like rotting heads and giant gorillas and zombies dressed as little girls and Edgar Allan Poe. The book, we mean, not the cake. By Adam Rex. Oh, hello, it is you. It is so good to see you. Hey, Brenda, Carl, Steve, come here. Look who it is. Well, hi. It's been a while. Brr. Yeah, remember at Kong's birthday party when you laughed so hard that cake came out of your nose? Hey, say, you do not look so good. He's right. Have you been sick? You're a lot shorter than usual and less green. Have you been eating okay? What should we do, you poor thing? We need to get you to a veterinarian right away. Hey, wait a minute. Your name is Frankenstein, right? It's not? That. I am sorry. I thought you were someone else. Me too. Meh. Hey, there's Frankenstein now. Hi, guys. Wow. From here, you look like me. We thought so, too. Let's take a closer look. Ah! Frankenstein Takes the Cake. My first monster book has sold so well, I bought a gold guitar. Then I had some people fit a second story on my car. And now my mansion has a track where men on jet skis race giraffes. I also held some money back to throw at pigeons, just for laughs. So when asked if Frank could write some more, I told myself, I quote, "If that freak will make a sequel, I can buy a bigger boat." He's the poet. Did you know it? You deserve an explanation. Frankenstein does all the writing. I provide the motivation. So I said to him, "More poems." But he raised his hand, which shook, due to a writer's cramp he'd picked up working on the sandwich book, and said, "No poems. Poems bad. I think I'm ready to retire. Maybe travel, start a hobby." To which I responded, "Fire!" Then I waved around a burning torch. That always does the trick. Frankenstein got right to writing rhymes and wrote them all right quick. So as long as they keep sending checks, I am yours truly, Adam Rex. The mother-in-law of Frankenstein makes wedding plans. We've a lot of catching up to do. I hope my folks are there. I can't wait to see their faces. They don't know I changed my hair. After all I've done arranging for your funeral and flowers, and you're only dead for what? An afternoon? A couple hours? Mother, lightning made me live again, and now I'm getting married. Do you know how much it costs to get you boxed and bombed and buried? Well, a lot. Enough to put me and your father deep in debt. And now we have to plan your wedding? To a man I've never met? I'm an open-minded person. I'm not trying to be mean, but I never thought my little girl would marry someone green. Mom! There, I said it. Now let's never speak another word about it. We could maybe use your funerary flowers, but I doubt it. But that gives me an idea, dear. You know I hate to ask it, but it might be nice to serve the buffet dinner in your casket. In a coffin? Like I'd really let you do that, Mom. Whatever. Well, you barely use it anymore. I think it's rather clever. And the caterer will have to have some place to put the food. We'll serve hors d'oeuvres on your tombstone. Don't make faces, dear. It's rude. We'll need music and a sculpture of a swan made out of ice. Are you inviting many monsters? Well, they're my friends now, Mom. They're nice. Just some vampires, a few creatures, no one dangerous or vicious. Ooh, can wedding have a harpist? I hear harpists are delicious. Off the top of my head, the official blog of the Headless Horseman. Please stop staring at my delicious head. It's supposed to be scary, you know. But this morning I rode by a little cafe, and it said pumpkin bisque was their soup of the day. As I passed, the chef stared in the creepiest way. Heaven knows how the crows always find me, or the pigeons that fly by but sneak up behind me. then poke in their heads to pick seeds through my eyes. And although I hate pigeons, I really despise how the crows go all Hitchcock and day turns to night as they claw and they caw and they snap and they bite, and then back to the branches or God knows what place. And the flapping's like clapping, the caws are applause for my big orange delectable face. And these grandmas won't leave me alone. They surround me and talk about muffins and bread, or they hound me with pie crusts and poke at my head. It's a good one, they whisper. I wish I was dead. I'm melting the inches away, and with only 1 bucket of water a day. Diet? Don't try it. You've heard all the pitches. They promise results, but they don't work for witches. Well, now there's a way to stay bony and gaunt, and still eat all the houses and children you want. So call your hag sister and tell your witch daughter. They're going to get sickly more quickly with water. Here's how it works. Send our coupon by mail. In 4 to 6 weeks, we'll deliver your pail. Fill the pail up with water and tighten your belt as you soak yourself silly and watch the pounds melt. Yes! I would like to be thin as a rail. Please send me your patented bucket by mail. Consult your witch doctor if skin begins smoking or melting persists for 3 hours after soaking. In rare cases, witches melt down to their toes so that nothing is left but their shoes, hat, and clothes. You get 10% off when you visit the Headless Horseman. For the gentle were librarian who's strictly vegetarian, there's nothing like Toe-Villager, the meatless tofu villager. The Sphinx ain't all that. Yeah, you heard me. I'm just saying, the Sphinx ain't as great as she thinks. Her Egyptian hat thing is all covered in bling, and she has a nice face, but I'll cut to the chase. From her neck to her butt, she don't look like King Tut. And because of the Sphinx, all of Egypt now stinks. You can follow your nose to the places she goes. In the Nile, on a pyramid, anywhere here amid all of the sand of her litter box land. While you're cleaning her mess, she'll invite you to guess what has 4 legs at dawn, only 2 later on, and then 3 legs at night. She'll just yawn if you're right. If you're not good at riddles, then you're tender victuals. The answer to the riddle of the Sphinx is man. He crawls on all 4s in the beginning of his life, walks on 2 legs later on, and uses a cane as a 3rd leg in his old age. An Edgar Allan poem. At midnight, Poe's reciting parts of poetry he's writing, whilst a raven is alighting on the bust above his door. But the poem Poe composes poses problems, 'cause he knows his line on roses being roses has been written once before. He supposes he could change it, he had lots of rhymes before, tons of choices, rhymes galore. In his bleary brain he goes through all the words that rhyme with rose, and throws out clothes that expose Joe's nose and toes, and maybe 20 more. Alas, in spite of all of those, he sees not one of them that flows as well as roses, roses, rose, the line he used to have before. Maybe I should switch to prose, he sighs and lies down on the floor. Quoth the raven, what a bore! New glasses. In her classes, without glasses, she could barely see the board. With her specs, she checks the teachers, sees their frightened, frozen features. Oh, so that's why when she raised her hand, Medusa was ignored. Off the top of my head, the official blog of the Headless Horseman. Real original jerks. I was first to go headless. I started the trend. I remember a time when a person could shout, hey, that guy has no head, it's a pumpkin instead, and you'd know it was me he was talking about. But this morning I'm riding my horse into work, and this headless accountant is walking his dog. And although it's still dark, I can see in the park that the headless vice principal's out for a jog. There's a woman in town who's a headless headmistress. She's dating the mayor, a bodiless head. And I bet you $1 they're joined at the collar this June when the two of them wed. You must tell me where you get all your ideas. This whole no head thing is just really fantastic. And pumpkins with faces on necks of all places? In case you can't tell it, I'm being sarcastic. Edgar Allan Poe should be writing or sleeping, not doing a crossword puzzle. Oh, Poe knows he should be working on the poet work he's shirking, whilst the raven still is lurking on the bust above his door. It's just 7 down that keeps our Peep from getting any sleep. Crusading wife of Vormer Peep? I'm sure I've heard this one before. But what the devil is a Veep? He weeps as low the clock strikes 4, quoth the raven. Tipper gore. Kaiju Haiku. Haiku is first 5 syllables, then 7 syllables, and then 5 again. Forget the flowers. April meteor showers bring gold space dragons. Tokyo summer. Mothra flies into a sign again and again. An autumn rampage. The sound of leaves and soldiers crunching underfoot. A winter wager. Will Godzilla's tongue freeze to Mechagodzilla? E.T. Mail. We assumed it was the case that in a place as big as space, we'd find some trace of other races with our scientific bases. When a signal was detected, it was not what we expected, and the subject line pleaded, "Please reply, assistance needed. Salutations to your health. Please help me transfer all my wealth into your bank account on Earth, $11 million worth. I need your answer right away. Please send a letter back today, along with $50, please, to pay the money transfer fees." We gasped. A message from the stars! And then another came from Mars. Need bigger, yellower antennae? Have too few or have too many? Loss of vigor, lousy sleeper, our prescription drugs are cheaper. We were noticing a pattern when a bunch arrived from Saturn. Fancy watches, click and see, get your hyperschool degree. At singles in your sector, we disabled our detector. Then we emptied out the cache and dragged the letters to the trash. So that's the fact we had to face. There's no intelligence in space, but that's okay. For what it's worth, there isn't much of it on Earth.